It's genuinely worrisome when I've got to make an intro like this, where I've got to make a video of this topic, given the content that I'm about to talk about when it comes to this series. Because I genuinely believe this is one of the greatest series of all time. What makes a series great? What makes a series phenomenal? What makes a series fantastic?
I don't know!
Is it action? Is it the story?
Really makes you think.
Or is it a little bit of both? Ladies and gentlemen, I've got two series here that I grabbed from my shelf of manga that I'm still adding on to. It's an obsession.
It's because I can't stop. I can't. It's a sickness. I can't stop.
The first series is Naruto. Now, Naruto having in my opinion, a pretty solid story. Some would say it's incredible. Some would say it's a masterpiece. Honestly, it comes down to opinion at this point. I think it really comes down to opinion for Naruto. What do you think of the story is? I think it's a solid story. When you hear people talk about Naruto, majority of people point to fights, right? They point to the fights. And granted, Naruto has a lot of really good fights. I will argue Naruto, the anime in general, has some of the best choreographed hand-to-hand fights in a lot of anime. It beats a lot of anime out when it comes to choreographed hand-to-hand fights. But a lot of people will talk about the fights, right? When it comes to Naruto. Correct! Compared to this, next one, number 2, One Piece. What's one thing about One Piece you hear people talk about the most? It's not the fights. It's the story, the world building, the development of characters, the backstories. That's what most One Piece fans will cite to you. What is the best part of One Piece? It's the story. It's not the fights. Like, if I have to pick one of these series, if I'm going to find a really good fight to watch nonstop, it's going to be Naruto. Absolutely. Whereas if you pick which story do I enjoy more, it's going to be One Piece. One Piece wins hands and shoulders when it comes to the story to me. And what happens when you combine both these?
Emotional, damn it.
Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for.
Is Vinland Saga, and specifically season 2, because I've seen a lot of people bash season 2. If you go to Crunchyroll and you start from the beginning to the end, it's usually around the beginning and the middle. People will joke about it. Oh, Farmland Saga. Part of it is to blame on season 1, but I'm not bashing season 1 at all. Season 1 Vinland Saga is so fun, so good.
Find his body floating in front of that.
Jesus Christ.
As somebody who's read the manga Vinland Saga, I know what was coming, obviously. But when I see people say season 2 is so far below season 1,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I can't trust your judgment on good storytelling. I can't. You just want brain dead fights. You want gore. You want mindless action that has no backing to it, no backstory to it, no weight to it. You just like mindless fights.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
You don't care about characterization. You don't care about character development. You don't care about story. You don't care about any of it. Character motivation, nothing. World building, nothing. Because season 2 Vinland Saga, in my opinion, is far and beyond season 1 could ever be. Now, don't get me wrong, season 1 is really good. I love season 1. Everyone likes teenage Thorfinn. He's a savage, he's a beast. We all know that. But I did realize going halfway through season 1, and I forgot how I felt like this. I felt like this in the manga too when I was reading it at first. Like halfway through, like a lot of it just feels like the same old episode, right? Until you get maybe to Thorkel. Obviously until the end. The ending... There's so many things I could say about the ending. There's so many things, and so many ways people decipher the ending, and you can decipher in a lot of ways. But it brings us to season 2, and the amount of hate that season 2 has gotten has baffled me, and it's really shown me that a lot of people just don't appreciate a good story. They don't appreciate good storytelling. They don't appreciate good character development. And these are usually the same people who are like, oh, but Jesus got the best character development of all anime. No, he doesn't.
I am the hype.
What you witnessed in season 1 is just the beginning of Thorfinn's journey. And Thorfinn has a very, very rough journey.
I know it's really sad, so Alexa, play Despacito 5.
And if you appreciate good storytelling, if you appreciate good development, if you appreciate just good storytelling in general, you will absolutely love this season. It's been phenomenal. We don't need fights. We don't need fights every episode. We don't. It's not what Vinland Saga is based on. But it's not what it's about. It's just like a bonus, I guess you could say. Thorfinn's journey to becoming a better person. Like, if you do not, I will say, if you don't appreciate it at the episode where he runs into Askeladd again and essentially, quote unquote, the afterlife, I don't know what to tell you.
It's him!
There's a lot of, I will say one thing about the anime over the manga. When I read the manga the first time, especially around this season, a lot of points when I read it made me tear up, made me sad and depressed. Watching it animated, oh my God, I cried like a baby. I'm not even ashamed to say it. I cried like a baby. I cried during Gardar's death. That scene, like, I cried when Thorfinn went back to his mother. That was hard. There's a lot of things in this season really got me emotionally, and it's not a lot of anime or manga do that. I think, without a doubt, this season was a masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
The journey from being a slave to getting freed to going back home to talking to Canute, having the discussion with Canute, taking 100 punches. It's absolutely phenomenal. I don't have any other words for it. And I don't know what else to tell anybody that just thinks this series, if they watched this whole season and still came to the conclusion that it's bad, I don't know what else to say to you. I really don't.
What's wrong with you?
But just give it time. I promise you. Once this series is finally over with, you're not going to be disappointed. Now, past that, let's talk about, what I liked within the season, because this is sort of a review type thing. Obviously, the beginning of the season is a tiny bit slow with, Thorfinn being a slave. We see what happens. He's a shell of his former self. He's lost all meaning. Absolutely, we see it. Like, it's understandable why he's the way he is. He's questioned his life at this point, and what's the point in living. And we see him slowly transform with the help of, we see him change with the help of Einar, with the help of everyone around him. I would say Canute's character development, very well handled, very well handled. Seeing the crown in form of his father's head, talk to him through everything. Canute's development is very, very nice to see. Phenomenal development. They become Canute and Thorfinn end up becoming two sides of the same coin. You look back at each of them in season 1 and you compare them to where they're at near the ending of where they're at the end of the series in season 2, and it's just completely polar opposites of what they were before. But the confrontation between Thorfinn and Canute in the end, very well done, very well animated. The facial expressions animated on Canute, very on point with the manga. It looked very well done. The shading was incredible. And props to Canute. He blocked an attack from Thorgil. Very nice. No, obviously he's not going to stand a match with Thorgil, but the fact that he could react in the time that he did and save himself, very impressive, very impressive, very impressive indeed. Traitor! Enjoyable to watch, enjoyable to just appreciate everything. And like I said, the ending when he goes back home, beautiful stuff. A lot more comedy at the last episode too, which I really appreciated. It breaks tension for a little bit, and that's what this did. This last episode was a nice way to ride it home, and I'm ready for season 3, beyond ready for season 3 and the future seasons. So Vinland Saga season 2, very well animated. Mappa hitting it under the ballpark again. Pacing was excellent. Character development was next world. Character interaction was incredible. Settings, everything, just beautiful. So overall, season 2 of Vinland Saga, I will give season 2 a rating of a S. It is a perfect season. Perfect. You can't get any better. You really can't. You can't get no better. And that's it. I'm done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for whenever I upload new videos. With that being said, see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day.